Okay, it's almost noon. We all slept for a few hours, and I stayed up I think till like 4:30 or 5 watching him and all the things. So I'm a little bit tired at this point, but he has been very active, even though he is lax in his pasterns. It really hasn't stopped him from his milestones. So we're gonna kind of observe him with the vet, kind of make up a little plan now, and we're gonna do all of the little things we got to do to make sure he's getting everything he needs. And Mama's gonna get her Foal alert out and just also get checked since it wasn't the easiest of births. Hey, big man. Let me take his jacket off. For the if you want. Oh, Mama. Good job, Mama. Big baby. Big baby. We had to help. Oh, look at. And he's not even up on his like legs yet, and he's so big. Let me get over it. It's a little over here. Doing good job, look, baby. Y'all can move where you need to. She wants to just listen to your heart. Oh, oh. Big boy. It's pretty, I think it's like 40 degrees in here. We could probably take this off a little bit. Oh my God. Let me hold you. He's putting all of his weight
He's just
on me. He is sitting in my lap. And he's collapsing. Hey. Got a road.
You're right. You can see it way better now.
You're kidding. You're gonna be so gross. Okay, I'm taking this. Look at him.
Look at you.
Look at that.
Oh, you're so cute in there.
His mama is gray. He could be gray, but I think his base is for sure bay roan.
Oh, she does that.
I know. We're just checking you out. We're just checking you out.
Maybe bigger.
He's definitely like thick boy.
Yeah.
He's thick. You know when they're fully cooked when they come out with like winter fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
When they come out, maybe.
you come out ready for the elements. Look at how white he is. It's insane. I'm like, I need to look up gray babies if this is because his dad's roan, so he could be bay roan.
Yeah.
But
He
he
could be
also
all kinds of
could be
pretty
gray.
things.
And I don't know if I really see like that prominent of gray goggles yet.
Now, do you want blood drawn on baby?
Yeah. Okay. Like seriously, he's so big and strong.
Who, Buck?
Yeah, who Buck? Yeah, Buck is so big and strong.
Alright, when I poke him, he's gonna jump, okay?
Yeah, he might headbutt you. And then your left arm, kind of try to have it up on him a little bit higher so that you can get the
Yeah, there
bang.
you go. I want your fingers on either side of his ear.
Yeah, there you
Where
go.
it says you're good, where you have. Good job. Alright. You ready?
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
No, good job.
Sweet boy.
Good job, baby. Good job.
It's okay. Oh, wow. You done with him for a second? Or?
Yeah, he can have a break.
Yeah.
Do you want
Wait,
a chemistry
wait,
done or
wait,
just the
that's mine.
CBC and the IgG?
I mean,
Usually all we do.
He doesn't look like there's anything.
It looks great.
Like, I think just do CBC and just for safe side and IgG and.
I'm gonna bring you a snack.
Scooch. I'll go get you some. This is the first time we've used her as a reset. She's been perfect in every way except for the fact that he was just like a giant. Like I didn't have to touch him one time after I helped her get him out. She was just all over it and perfect. You want me to put a halter on her?
I will. I don't want to take a peek. I'm gonna go get some gloves before
I just want to check for bruising and stuff because like we didn't have to yank him out by any means, But I mean, it was hard fought sitting there holding pressure for freaking forever to get this thing out. And he's just so thick that it's like, yeah, he has long legs.
I'm
but
sure his shoulders were stuck, and then his little hips got stuck.
Like
too.
he's just. After we got over the shoulders, it was pretty quick.
Very good.
So baby's good. Routinely, we always do a CBC. We always do an IgG test. So the IgG test, who is blowing me up right now? Matt. The IgG test we do here. So it takes about 7 minutes. And that's what we check for if the baby's getting the colostrum it needs and all the antibodies it needs through the mama's milk. So sometimes even if they get a full belly, if mama's been dripping a lot or for some reason her milk is just not up to par, we want to make sure he gets everything he needs in that first 24 hours, preferably 12 hours. So we're at that like 14-hour mark right now. He's been up and going. I have zero doubt that he's probably completely fine, but we always do that to make sure we don't need to give them plasma or something like that. Then we do the CBC, which is just like regular blood work, and that'll be done at the clinic. Mama is going to get checked out, just like a, exam, making sure she didn't bruise too terribly. I do suspect she did bruise. Not every mare bruises. I think she probably bruised. And then getting her foal alert snipped out and all that stuff. I don't think she didn't tear or anything like that. Everything was pretty amazing, except for the fact that he's just a big old chunk. So, I mean, the fact that he's so big already, he's not even standing upright. Like, give him 2 or 3 more inches and he'd literally be Wally sized. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy.
Good girl, Raven. Good girl, Raven. Hi. You're a very good girl. Here's a small tear.
A small tear.
Really kind of towards the outside. Nothing that goes inside. Right above where the fold is.
Stitch worthy?
So,
No.
no, nothing I'm all that worried about.
Anything you think might need a antibiotic or anything? No.
It's there. I mean, it's really short.
Yeah.
Go too bad in. And
Well,
she's not really all that bruised.
No?
Actually.
Really?
Yeah. Compared
That's good.
To how bruised she could be
Right.
with a baby this big, she's really not that bruised.
The last year, I didn't have a single mare tear last year, but the one mare that I had to help, like I did with him, she bruised pretty significantly. So, just wanted to make sure. You're gonna be like a puppy dog. So, Dr. Matthew's coming out on Tuesday as well, but
Okay,
with lax pasterns like that, I mean, protocols just keep up, right?
Yeah, just let him wander around, get up, down, run around. He just needs to use those legs, so his tendons are like, well, gotta put in some work here.
Just not overexert him.
Right.
So
Right,
this is a
so-
good sized stall for that, I would say, except
Yeah.
I'm probably about to have to kick her out for another one. So
Well, if you have something similar, or even a little
it's
bit smaller,
it's a
it'd be
little bit
fine.
smaller, but it's big.
That's fine. Yeah. Especially with the weather, I wouldn't put them out
No.
until for a couple of days, and especially if Matthew's coming.
We have this little sand lot that we usually use for like the lax ones that just need like a little bit, but it's ice right now, so we'll wait till that's not
ice
ice.
is not gonna help his.
We'll wait till that's not ice.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's going to be something that requires a castless in the future. I guess that would maybe be up farther, like
I'm honestly
higher.
surprised at how short the distance is from here to here of what she has open.
Uh-huh.
So right in here, that's vulva that doesn't open any further. So that didn't help her any.
So you
It's
think
just
she has a
space.
tiny vulva? Or like kind of a short one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a short length in total. So from here to here is what she had to work with, which is probably why Jumbo over there had
Yeah.
a slightly tougher
maybe don't
time.
cook them for 2 extra weeks. You know?
That.
Like you're supposed to be. He pooped also a ton of his meconium last night. He got an enema. I cleaned his navel. Kind of just did everything.
Except for the ankles.
Yeah, except for the fact that you look like a bunny rabbit.
But you know what? I'll take it.
Oh, he don't like that. I know.
All right, little tush. There you go. Free
There
to
you
go,
go.
young man.
At this point, I have so much to do. So we are doing a mixture of checkups today. So we're going to start with Lexy, who's 303 days pregnant. So she's due March 12th. She has been bagging up the last couple of days to where it could be normal for her at this gestation, but also it kind of went from 0 to 100. So what we're doing now, and you've heard me talk about it a little bit before, we're implementing a new protocol where we check all of our mares around day 300 just to make sure they're not showing any signs of placental. So that's what we're going to do today with Miss Lexy. So her udder is really inflamed and large for this gestation, and so I just wanted to we were already doing this check, but I want to be diligent to make sure that this baby gets to term. She's about a week away from viability. She hasn't been, because I watch her on camera like a hawk, there's been zero weird behavior. But also she hasn't really gotten to go outside a lot, so I'm like, is she stuck, is her bag super engorged from lack of movement?
No, she's definitely trying to build a bag quickly.
Yeah.
Big. The teats haven't filled up, which is good.
Would you say antibiotics would be? I mean, I know you're gonna check her out,
Yeah,
but
not until we look at her and see.
Okay.
And she could be doing this 30 days out. So
Right.
she's
303.
30 days out.
And it's been a few days, so I mean, she could be one of the mares that is in the 320s
Comes a
or
week
yeah.
early. Or 10 days.
So I look at the fluid consistency and clarity. Let's see if there's any floaters in it. That's one thing I'm checking out. I'm just bouncing around. And there are some floaters in there, yeah. And I'll do rectal ultrasound as well. I'm just trying to find where the baby is. There we go. I'm looking for the heart. Yeah, ribs and the heart's the bottom left.
There's the ribs, and the heart is in the bottom left.
Head's pointed towards the back.
Great. Everybody's going long except for the most expensive baby of the year.
All right, well, let's get a C-tap measurement. We'll do
Okay.
rectal.
Do you She's not really even where her foal alert would reach at this point. I was gonna say with her. She might
You name it the Super Foal Watch.
the super full watch party. Yeah. All right. Well, this is going up Saturday, so super full watch party Sunday live. You heard it here first. Let's do it. Yeah. I think we're a little time crunched for that. So I just found out this week that her spade marking back there, or what is it called, brand, it means that she's from the Solo Select cutting horses.
When it gets really bad, it's thick and you can actually see there's separation and there's goo, nasty fluid in between that placenta and the uterine wall.
So it would probably, because you don't want to just throw antibiotics at a horse, they don't need it. So right now, keep on double regimen.
Yeah, and we'll pull blood and do a SA level.
Okay.
And see if there's any indication that there's an infectious process going on. But what I see, I just think she's 30, 40 days out.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that times it right, but she's also just huge.
And you need to watch and make sure her teats don't bulge out and fill.
Okay.
Right now, it's just her bag.
Okay.
Is she a maiden?
Yeah. She came from a recent farm. I wouldn't imagine them sending me a maiden with this embryo, but maybe they did because she's only 5. So I don't know. She might have had one prior.
Her teats don't look like she's had one.
That's what I said.
They're very tight.
That's what I said, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I spell everything wrong, assessment.
He spells everything wrong, and you know what? I always just give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, is he spelling things wrong for engagement? He wants people to call him out in the comments, but I don't think that's the case. I think he just doesn't know how to spell.
Yeah.
I'd give her Butte and Ulcer Guard. Or is she on omeprazole right now? I would do Ulcer Guard. Come on, Lexy. Come on, Mama. She's sleepy, girl. Yeah, oh my God, she's loose.
Yeah, it's pretty loose.
So loose. So, Willow, this is her last chance to get pregnant.
How many embryos have we put in there?
6.
Oh,
No, maybe 4.
okay.
It's no less than 4 though.
Right.
But I also did it with the same mare each time, so I don't know if that has any correlation in that batch of embryos, just wasn't of quality. I don't know.
Yeah.
Willow, Charlotte. So we're doing Willow, Opal, Ginger. We're not doing Buttercup because we're doing one more round of ICSI. I'm gonna do one more round of ICSI with Sophie. That's the thing, I'd like to ride Ethel, so I'd like to not breed her if possible. So it's like, not Ethel. Who else is over here? I guess just 3.
Erlene, you said.
I'd like to evaluate Erlene and see what he thinks about her carrying.
Exactly well.
She's the possibly Raven, but she can't. The Ariel and Blondie, but
They're not here.
And the 2 thoroughbreds.
Okay, so we just have 3 and then maybe look at Erlene. Okay. It's a small day for you.
What's that?
Only 3, maybe looking at Erlene. So
Okay.
3 recips, or 2 recips and Ginger.
Okay.
Ginger's going to a different stud this year.
I heard Joe had the he sired the number 1 2-year-old in the country.
I think he did.
That's my man.
I think he did.
He showed up yesterday ready to breed.
And now for the first breeding checks of the year. I can't believe we're already in breeding season and we only have 1 foal on the ground, but here we are. We don't want to breed right now. I don't want to breed until after Valentine's Day for timing's sake. I don't want any more January 1st scares. But we got to like make sure the mares are cycling. We got to make sure they're clean. We got to make sure they don't have any infection and things like that. And the mares we're checking today, 2 recips, Willow and Opal, and then Ginger's carrying her own baby. It's totally fine if we want to breed them by the end of the month. So we just got to see where they're at in their cycle. Willow, so I say that, it sounds so harsh that I'm like, this is your last chance. I'm selling you. Like, I have a friend that wants her if she doesn't have a baby because she's only like, I think she's 10 or 11. She's completely sound. She's already been worked on the barrel pattern. She's been worked on cows. She is a retired racehorse. She has actually won, I think, $40-something thousand on the track. So like, she has no reason to just sit in a pasture. She absolutely could have a job. I actually got her from someone I know who just didn't have time for her. And I was like, I'll try to see if she can, carry a baby. And so she's probably the healthiest she's been. Her weight looks fantastic, but if she can't do what I bought her to do, there's no reason she can't go be lovely for somebody else.
CL on the left, so it does look like she's cycling. Yeah, hit freeze on that for me. Thanks.
She
So
does
she's
have
got
one
CL
cycle.
on the left times 2, and then she's got 2 follicles on the right that
Jeez.
are 20s.
So she has follicles on one side and then 2 CLs on the other. So she's fertile myrtle on paper,
Painted in the book.
but she just
Painted in
hadn't
the book
taken
in
yet.
real life. Fertile on paper.
And it could be that like
Painted in the
if
book.
we threw semen in her, she'd probably get pregnant. It's just, we're doing frozen embryos, which are, less likely.
2 2s on the right.
We'll go back and look at the notes because I don't think she had any reactions to, the embryos or.
She's sewn down. She doesn't have any fluid or it doesn't look like she has any inflammation in her uterus. When she's in heat, first thing I'm gonna do is
Culture. So when do you want, we'll look at the others to make a plan, but as of where she's at in her cycle right now, when would you want to check her to catch her in heat?
Probably the end of next week or the first of fall.
Okay. We'll make a plan. Now Opal, we've never tried to breed. This is our first season with her. She's a maiden that we know of. I love the maidens, I guess. I just like to be the first one that sees if they hate their children or not. That's just my thing, I guess. So I think I said Opal's coming next. It's actually Ginger. So Ginger, this will be her hopefully 3rd pregnancy. So she had a year off this past year. She's had 2 babies with the stallion Cool Breeze. Love them, but she's young in her broodmare career. She can't be tied down to one guy. So we are swapping stallions, and this year we are breeding her to Unbridle Your Dreams, who is a 16-hand gray double registered stallion who is just amazing. So she's also, it's funny, like, I don't know if this is actually true. You know how it's harder to sedate like human redheads? Like, I feel like my redhead horses are harder to sedate because she's like a heavyweight. You have to sedate the crap out of her. Ginger last year had, we did try to rebreed her because in the past she was very easy to breed, and we had some issues getting a hold of the semen, and then when we did, it didn't work for her or her mom. So
we kind of reevaluated and just left her open for the year, and we ended up breeding her mom through ICSI with it, and so it worked out. Like, we'll still end up having a Beyonce baby with that, but I think it worked out for the best because I'm really excited about breeding Ginger to this one stallion. Okay, so let's see what Ginger's got in here. I did see the tomato. Did I see the tomato?
Yeah. You did. CL.
So, a bunch of little follicles there.
That's a ICSI playground.
Yeah, if we were doing ICSI with Ginger, maybe in a couple years. But that tomato, does that
It
mean
looks
she's...
more concentric than nice and soft, so it's almost like she just went out of heat, probably.
Gotcha. So she's not in an area where we can like culture her right now.
Let's see. We got a
Oh my
follicle
gosh,
there.
gigantic follicle.
Measure that.
Let me freeze it.
Freeze that.
Well, I might be wrong. She might be in the good time to...
This is zoomed in, so it looks a little bit
Oh.
bigger than it actually is. Like other ones were 2,
Well, 2.7.
7.
One side.
Right side.
And she's got this CL right here. It's pretty prominent, so I feel like she just went out and that one's lingering around.
Yeah.
Her cervix is soft enough to go ahead and grab a culture.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So a culture, you're going to see him, he's going to have a giant swab, and he's going to go in and swab her uterus and then take it back and then see what grows. Because if we are going to flush her prior to breeding, and she does have some sort of infection or something that needs fighting, we have to know exactly what type of antibiotic flush she needs. Oh, UC Davis just sent me something. It's either Sophie's or Wally.
Color?
I don't know. Hold on. VGL test report.
Is this good to be in it?
Yeah. Coat color results for Walter. Hold on. What is he?
Wait.
What is? No, that's the subscribers first.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, let's see. He has no red factor detected. Offspring cannot be chestnut or sorrel. If present, black pigment is distributed uniformly over the body. Does that mean he's black? No copies of cream, no copies of lethal white, no copies of W20, so no white markings. Okay, so if he's like lowercase AA, does that mean he's black? Someone Google.
I'm Googling.
Is he black?
I'm Googling.
So, okay, we've been having this like thing where like, is Wally just dark brown or is he black? Because he's a stallion prospect. That matters for like if he is going to throw babies. Like we need to know, can he throw red babies? Is it like homozygous black? So where they have to be bay or black? But like even if he's bay, he could be homozygous black. But it also depends. We haven't registered him for his name yet. And so I'm not going to give him a name that has black in it because we've been wanting to do that if he's not black because that would just be misleading. What's going on? He's black?
Results in a solid black coat color.
He's black. Yes. Oh my gosh, he's black. Yes. That's so exciting. He's going to go in with this long freaking pipette and swab her uterus. And then he's going to come out and take it back to the lab, run a culture on it. Because if we do like some sort of flush on her, and if we need to do an antibiotic flush, if she does have stuff growing on the culture, we need to know what antibiotic to use so that we can accurately clean her up.
Cervix is mid, not too tight, not too loose.
That's like, I don't know why that sounded so harsh. Like cervix is mid, you know?
Mid cervix.
Mid cervix.
I just thought you'd be impressed with my middle school son.
He just took a swab of her uterus and then they're going to take it back to the lab, see what it grows on a culture in the lab. So it'll take a few days, but we like to clean our mares at the very beginning of the year. We like to make sure they don't have anything, even the slight infection. And if we flush them, we need to do like an antibiotic flush, we want to make sure we're using the correct antibiotics so that we can treat whatever they have going on specifically. If not, I mean, we're just kind of, it's redundant. So we got to make sure if she has something, we know exactly what it is. So next is Erlene. Erlene is a mare that we pull embryos from. So we actually have some frozen embryos of hers, and another mare might carry a baby for her so that we have 2 next year. She had a year off. She actually had some soundness issues, but we have worked with shoeing. We've done stem cells because she had a slight tear in her deep digital flexor tendon. She has some other injuries that led to that from before I got her, but she is in a really stable place. She's really sound. She's been going out in the pasture, romping, playing, and it hasn't had any issues. Let me just, where's some wood? Knocking on it. And so we've made a plan for like when she foals, like her shoeing situation and things like that as well, because we don't normally want back shoes on our mares when they're foaling. And so we made a plan where she doesn't have to have her special, you know, shoeing set up quite like it is, so that it can be safe for the foal. And so since we've kind of come up with that plan, we're going to check her now, because we've already done our ICSI. We've already, you know, like gotten some embryos in the bank for her. So I'd like to utilize, while my young stallion, First Things First, aka Denver, he has fresh semen available only through March 13th. So I would really like to breed her in that time frame so that we can utilize fresh versus frozen. Bracing on the wall.
This is like twice the mare.
Of the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
She's a big girl. She's only 16 hands. She just seems bulky, you know? She's a big girl.
That's the lad.
All right, what's she got going on there?
26.
So she's got one that looks kind of like an older follicle on one side. What is all that going on?
That's the fog on the right.
That's a huge one?
Yeah.
Is that one about to go because it has all the stuff in the middle?
She looks like she's, yeah.
That follicle's gigantic, and all that stuff in the middle, doesn't that mean like it's about to go? All the white stuff in the middle?
No. That's just an artifact. That's not the actual.
Is that bad?
follicle. Yeah, I'll show you. That's not bad at all.
So is she okay to culture as well?
Let's culture her.
Okay, that's perfect timing.
37 on the right. Indeed.
So yeah, the thing with her though, she came so early, the first one, 318, but I have, you know, been doing the whole lights thing. So maybe if she's not under lights, she'll hold it in a little bit longer. She looks a lot prettier this year than she did last year. Her face last year, she looked 25 years old. She looks a lot younger.
Horse I would ride into battle. It's this one, right? Not Gracie. Who is this? Opal?
It's Opal.
Yeah, this was the one.
She won over $100,000 on the track.
Yeah.
You know who? I would ride Trudy into battle.
She'd be a force.
As crazy as she is, I've never ridden her.
Trudy is
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
I'm going, baby.
Kennedy.
Well,
I
put like those people on
Probably
front
like,
lines in perspective. Like once I took that chest blast from Squirt, like imagine like Trudy charging at you from half a mile away.
after he took the chest blast from a 20-pound newborn foal.
Yeah, and that's
Mini
at me
foal?
5 foot. Like imagine what like a full grown horse would do. Dude, it did. It sent me.
Grown Walter. That's who I'm riding into battle on.
Yeah.
Grown. 6 years plus. 6 years plus. 17-2, black. Like he would look terrifying. Yeah, this is our first palpation.
She ever had babies before?
Nope. Like I said, I love torturing myself with the maidens.
Torturing you.
Follicle right there. Let's see how big it is.
Was there no babies before?
Not that I know of, no. We've never even, I think we palpated her one time.
Alright, unfreeze it. Everything looks great.
Good.
When do you want to put an embryo in her?
Sometime after Valentine's Day.
Okay. Well, she ought to be out of heat in about a week.
Okay, and then we can bring her back in.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so he's gonna do a culture on her just like they did on Ginger. She looks fantastic. So what it looks like right now, we're gonna schedule a day for him to come out and check them again, probably at the end of next week or the week or after that. And then with her, because she's getting in frozen embryo, all we have to do is track her ovulation, because then 4 days after ovulation, we implant the embryo. It's a little bit easier timing wise, but with Ginger, we have to order semen. So we have to time it a little bit better, because the stallions are collecting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They ship out. We have to see, okay, do we put it on an airplane and get it here that day? Do we do, overnight shipping? All that. So that's what's to come for all the breeding updates. It's been a whirlwind of a first month of the year with the first baby taking forever to get here, but now he's here and it's time to start breeding for next year's. So let me know if you have any questions going into this breeding season so that we can adequately answer you and do segments to explain things deeper. So if you have any of those things off the top of your head, leave them in the comments. If you haven't already, go check out the new merch. Okay, we revamped the running springs, so it looks pretty cool now. We have new merch like that, Valentine's Day merch, all those things. So that's katievanslyke.net. And I guess we'll just have to see you in the next one.